You want to be a better stock trader in 2026, and you can if you go about it the right way. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 actionable steps that you can take to be a better trader in 2026. These won't be ideas or theories, but real things that you can actually implement in your own trading tomorrow. And we'll start with the most important, which is to build a trading system. To understand this, you first must understand that there are 2 types of traders. There are discretionary traders, and then there are system traders. And it's not that discretionary traders don't have strategies. It's just that their strategies are much less rigid. Let's say your trade idea is that you want to buy strong stocks on dips. Well, a discretionary trader will take that trade idea and just go apply it to the charts. If they think they identified a strong stock currently on a dip, they may decide to enter that stock. Whereas a system trader will have real objective reasons for why they should buy. For example, this is my reversal trading strategy. I enter and define a strong stock as trading above the 200 simple moving average, and I define on a dip by being less than 40 on the RSI value. And this is not me hating on discretionary traders. I think the profitable discretionary traders are the best traders in the world. They are the ones that are going to make the most money. The issue is that you can't do it. Most of you watching this video will probably define yourself as a discretionary trader, and you probably aren't making as much money as you would like to in the stock market. You've ever heard the stat that 90% of day traders fail? It's because almost everybody, when they start, just goes into that discretionary trading style. I know I did. I failed for years as a discretionary trader. It was once I found system trading that I was able to then begin to turn consistent profitability. So if you're watching this video with a notepad, which I hope you are, because absorbing education content without changing your actions is simply a waste of time, I want you to write down that you need objectively defined reasons for why you enter and exit your trades. Now, of course, just having rules doesn't really mean anything, right? You need to also prove that the rules are profitable over time. And this is why beginners don't jump into system trading, because it's a lot of work. I'm not telling you this is going to be easy. You should not come into trading assuming it's going to be easy. System trading in particular is a lot of busy work. It's really hard to go back through the years history of a chart, find the 81 trade examples of where your rules would be true, write it all down, perform the calculations, and then you change something so that you optimize the strategy so that you make it better and do it all again. It's a lot of hard work. Thus, why I began to use code to automate all of that data gathering process for me. Now, we're not going to jump too deep into code in this video, but that is the niche that we cover on this YouTube channel. So subscribe if you are interested in this sort of stuff. And just quickly, I'll let you know if you would like to get a head start on this sort of codified trading, and if you use Thinkorswim, I have published over 150 custom Thinkorswim codes over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. This includes the strategy that you just saw, the backtest labels that you just saw, which are extremely powerful. And since it's the new year, I am running a very short, I only made 5 codes available, very short, limited time sale. Use discount code 2026 at checkout. I know this looks like I'm lying for marketing, but I published this code this morning and already 2 people have used it. So you really need to go jump on this if you are interested. Once again, daytradingstrategies.net. It will be linked in the description down below this video. So now you know that going into 2026, you should have objective reasons for why you're buying and selling stocks. Great. And I wanted to start with that because the next few tips I'm going to give you are some of the rules that I have found to work for me. I have been building these codified trading strategies now for over 6 years. I have found some rules that just kind of, no matter what type of strategy, what type of trader you are, these rules are going to help make you better. The first rule is easy. Do not buy a stock that is trading below the 200 length simple moving average. This is just a super easy way to make sure that You are only buying strong stocks. You're never chasing the downside. You're never trying to catch the falling knife. And you even look at a visual like this and someone will always go, because of course statements are not definitive, there is always counterexamples. So someone will go, well, Trey, what about this dip here? You got a pretty beautiful bounce. It's like, okay, great. It happened there once. What about this dip and 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 all the ones that failed afterwards? Trust me, yes, there will always be situations in which rules can be proven untrue. The idea of profitable stock trading is to build rules that are true most of the time. You still have plenty of time to buy dips on the way up while the stock is strong and trading above the 200 simple moving average. Target those. Don't try to be smarter than the market. Don't try to buy these huge dips on already weak stocks thinking that you're some genius and the market is wrong. Just agree with the market, only buy strength, and using the 200 length simple moving average is once again a super easy way to do that. Another study that you need to take advantage of in 2026 is the ATR. This stands for average true range. Very simple price action study. All it is showing you is the average distance from high to low over the previous 14 candles. So in reality, what it is a real-time measure of the stock's volatility in actual points moved. This is so ridiculously useful because you can build entire trade plans around this study. Say, go here, you bought this ticker XYZ at $200 a share. Because of course you did, why not? It's a nice whole round number. Anyway, the ATR value right here when the stock touches 200, if you can see that small number over there, is 16.8. So let's just call it 16 for easy math's sake. You can buy the dip here, and since you know the ATR is at 16, do whatever you want, but say you want to set a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. So you would know, hey, I have to risk 16 points down just because that is the current natural volatility of the ticker. So I must give it that room to breathe. The ticker then dips. The low of this candle is 191. So the ticker dips 9 points since your entrance. How many of you have bought a dip like that at a whole number, then gotten stopped out on a 9-point dip like that, only for the stock to then immediately bounce? Well, it's because you're not making use of the ATR. You don't know what the normal movement of the ticker is, so you don't know how much downside room you need to allow for it to breathe. Of course, if you're giving it 16 points of downside, which once again you now know because of the ATR, you're really nowhere near getting stopped out on a 9-point dip. So you're happy-go-lucky, you're still holding, you know exactly where your stop loss is, which would be, I think, $184. And your risk reward being 2-to-1, you're looking for 32 points up. So when the stock then bounces up here, up and over $232 a share, you can go ahead and get out of the trade. And you built that whole return to risk model solely based on the ATR study. Extremely useful. I'm not really a huge studies guy. I really try to not overuse them. I don't think in any of the strategies that I have published on my website, I have more than 3 studies used in a single strategy. I think if you start to use too many, you start to overfit your strategy, which is cheating, which means it won't really translate to live trading. Whatever, who cares? The point I'm trying to get at is that if in 2026, you simply combine the 200 length simple moving average and only buying stocks above it with using the ATR to help determine your risk to reward ratio, you're going to notice a difference in your trading. So you know now there are 2 types of ways to think about trading. We had discretionary and system written on this board earlier. Well, there is also 2 types of trade strategies. There are only 2 different ways that you can build a trading strategy. The first is continuation trading, and the second is reversal trading. Now, I believe you should be trading both of these types of strategies. I'm a big believer in trading multiple strategies across these two types, but we'll talk about that in just a second. What I want to touch on first is how you should be exiting each one of these types of trade strategies. So this is now the second time in this video that you've seen my reversal trading strategy in its codified form. And we talked a little bit earlier about the objective rule set that I use for my entrance conditions. Now I want to talk about how I exit just really any reversal strategy. You'll notice here that I am getting out of these trades pretty quickly. That is the main key to exiting a reversal strategy, because think about it. When you're playing reversals, really you are sort of disagreeing with the market. You are buying weakness and pretty much telling the market, hey, I think you're wrong. I think this thing is going to actually go up from here. When doing so, and I have found, once again, I have been building in these codified trading strategies now for over 6 years. What I have found in those 6 years is that when buying dips, really the best way to play the exit is to get out on the first sign of strength. You did it. You beat the market. You were smarter than the market. The stock did bounce out of its weakness. Go ahead and just lock in that profit when it exists. However, if I switch workspaces here and go to my continuation trading strategy, this is another strategy that you haven't yet seen, you will notice a very different exit style. I am holding on to these trades much longer. Because now, obviously, unlike we were doing with the reversal trading style where we were disagreeing with the markets, now we are agreeing with the markets. We are playing continuations. I am buying into strength. I am buying into local breakouts. I am buying strong stocks. Vis-a-vis, I'm just going to let the stock continue to be strong. Actually, I'll give you a little bit of a bonus tip here. On my continuation trading strategies, once again, I have learned this through years of building these strategies, I almost never set an upside profit target. You'll notice that in this trade here, you'll see the stock runs and runs and runs and runs. It then stops out and locks in its profit on weakness. That's the way I go about continuation trading. Buy strength, let the stock continue to be strong for as long as it wants to, and then exit on the first sign of weakness rather than selling the winner too early. Now we're still on my continuation trading strategy here. I want you to take a look up at the backtest labels. This is showing you the statistics of this strategy running on this chart. Obviously your P&L, win percentage, average win, average loss, average trade, and some drawdown stats. Well, what's most important to look at here is your win percentage. On my continuation trading strategy, I only have a win percentage of 38%. Tell someone that doesn't really know much about trading that you only win 38% of your trades, and they'll probably call you an idiot. But those of us that have been trading, at least for a little bit, understand that profitability is two parts. It is your win percentage multiplied by your win to loss ratio. I'm still able to make money only winning 38% of my trades because my average winner is over $2,500, while my average loser is just shy of $900. So those are the target profitable statistics for a continuation trading strategy. Low win rate, but you're targeting the win to loss ratio side of the equation in order to still be profitable over time. Whereas if I instead switch to my reversal trading strategy, you will notice these numbers all shift. I wonder if I can get my arrows to line up. I can't. You'll notice these numbers do a huge flip. I now have an 86% win percentage. So now, obviously, we are targeting a much higher win rate. But my average winner is $280 and my average loser is $131. That's actually too good of an example. Let me see if I can find another. Let me go load up XYZ. No, what McDonald's, find me a chart where you prove my point. Okay, sort of. The strategy is actually winning a little bit more than I want it to win. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is I flip across these stocks, you will see that the win percentage is high, but the win to loss ratio tends to be lower. Here on McDonald's, $97 average win, $124 average loss. So typically, and obviously we went through a couple of good names there, but typically in this reversal trading strategy, my losers are bigger than my winners, but I still make money because, once again, in the profitability equation on a reversal trading strategy, I am targeting that higher win rate. And the main point of all of this is that there is no such thing as a singular strategy that will provide you an up and to the right P&L graph forever. Every single strategy has a major downside risk. That's the only reason it's allowed to be profitable, because you are taking on that risk. In order to get yourself closer to having that up and to the right P&L chart, you need to be using a combination of these strategy types. The reversal strategy, like you're seeing here, of course, when it loses, it can lose larger than it wins. But with the continuation trading strategy, you're going to lose a lot of trades. So your major downside risk for the reversal is obvious. You can lose large, and your major downside risk for the continuation is that you can very easily go on a pretty long losing streak. I mean, if a 38% win rate, you can pretty easily go 5, 6, 7 trades in a row, all losers. So when you combine the two, they help to offset each other's major downside risk. So if you did watch this video without a notepad, go ahead and quickly take a screenshot of this, get it onto your desktop wallpaper, whatever it is, get it somewhere that you will read it every single day, and these 5 things will help make you a better trader going into 2026. Now remember, basically none of this matters if you don't do step number 1. If you don't become a system trader with objective reasons for entrance and exit, I really can't help you, because discretionary is all just in your mind. How smart are you at reading charts in real time? Once again, like 1 out of every 100 people are capable of doing that. Those people are amazing. You're probably not one of them. So make sure you are doing that first step, else really nothing else matters. And remember, if you'd like to get a massive head start on those objective reasons for entrance and exit, go sign up to daytradingstrategies.net, where you will get access to over 150 custom thinkorswim coded strategies, studies, scanners, etc. that I have built and published. I do have my model set up as a subscription service because I add new codes to this website every single week. So as long as you remain subscribed, obviously you continue to get access to those new codes either monthly or annually. Annually, you're going to save yourself a good bit of money over your next 12 months of access to every new code. But more importantly, with the annual plan and with the annual plan only, you get lifetime access to the Discord server. This Discord server currently consists of over 1,500 members, and it's just a great place to be if you would like to, in real time, live every single day, talk about what stocks are moving. And remember, every single person in here is also using the same codes. So it's a great place to ask coding questions, talk about what codes work for you, what codes you are using to trade certain stocks, things like that as well. Just a great community to be a part of. Anyway, daytradingstrategies.net. It's linked in the description down below this video. Go at least take advantage of the free codes. Go read the reviews. Help decide for yourself if this is something that could help accelerate your personal trading journey. And for those of you that sign up to the annual plan, I'll talk to you in the Discord in pre-market.